Hi, welcome back to Then We Eat. In today's episode, we'll be making tater tot chicken pot pie. So the very first thing that I've done is I've preheated my oven to 375 degrees. So the first thing we need to do is chop our vegetables. I've got half an onion, I've got a carrot, and a celery stalk, and we want to dice these. I'm going to cut the celery in half. Cut it in half lengthwise, and we'll give it a fine dice. And now we'll move on to the carrot. Since I want a fine dice on this, I'm going to take the carrot and I'm going to cut it into quarters lengthwise. It will give me a better dice. So there's the carrot and celery chopped up. And now let's chop up our onion. And there's my onion chopped up. We're going to put this aside. We'll get the induction out. It's time to start cooking. So we've got our induction out. I've got my cast iron frying pan on the induction, so let's turn it on and get it heated up. So I've got it set for about 500. If I find that that's not warm enough, we'll turn it back up a little bit. So I can feel that my pan is heating up, so now it's time to add 3 tablespoons of butter. And into my pan, I'm going to add my vegetables I just chopped. So I've got my celery, my carrots, and my onion. And I want to cook these until my vegetables are starting to soften up, which would be about 10 minutes-ish. Before my vegetables get fully cooked, I will add some garlic and some thyme to this. You don't want to add your garlic now, it's way too early. So I did turn my induction up to 700, which is about medium heat. So my vegetables have softened. Now I'm going to add 3 cloves of garlic and 2 teaspoons of thyme. And a pinch of salt and pepper. The garlic is nicely cooked. And now I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of flour. I'm just going to give that a mix in. I'm going to make sure that all my vegetables get coated with the flour. And I'm just going to let it brown up for a minute maybe. Now that I've got the flour in here, we're going to add some chicken broth. So it's going to be 2.5 cups of chicken broth, and I'm going to add it slowly. So I'm going to add my first cup. I'm going to give that a mix in before I add my second cup. Okay, I'm going to add my second cup and the last half a cup. I've turned my heat up a little bit. I now have it at about medium high. I want to make sure that I get this to a nice boil. I want it to thicken up. So as you can see, we've got a slow boil going here. That's just what I'm looking for. I'm going to turn my heat down to about medium. And to my pan, I'm going to add 1/4 cup of heavy cream. And I'm going to let that cook and thicken up for about 5 minutes. It's smelling really good in here. So I have my, I'm going to call it sauce, boiling away. Now it's time to add our final 2 ingredients. I'm going to add a bag of peas. There's about a cup here. You want to make sure that you use frozen peas. And you want 3 cups of shredded rotisserie chicken. So I bought a chicken yesterday. I cheated. I bought a store-bought cooked chicken. So I just shredded it, and I've got my 3 cups. So in it goes. Ugh. All right. Sometimes you drop stuff in what you're making. It's all right. Let's give that a mix. So my peas came out as one solid mass. That's how they went into the freezer. So we're just going to heat up the pot pie until our peas are unfrozen. Okay, so I think I've got my peas all separated. I'm just going to give it 1 more minute to heat up everything, make sure that the peas are heated and the chicken is heated. So that should pretty much do it. I'm going to take it off the heat. I'm going to get rid of the induction and we'll be right back. So there's my mixture. It's ready for the oven. The last thing we need to do is we need to put a layer of tater tots around the top. So I was a little tiny bit shy on my tater tots. My pan was a little bit bigger than I thought it was going to be. So there's the tater tots on top. So we're going to put it in the oven. As I said, I've got my oven preheated to 375 and we're going to bake this for about 35 minutes. We'll be back when it's cooked. Okay, so our chicken pot pie is out of the oven. I have my oven mitt on because I know the handle of my frying pan is going to be very hot. And I don't want to burn myself. So this is what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. Now it's time to try it. Okay, so it looks very hot, but we're still going to try it. That is so good. This just reminds me of comfort food in a bowl. It's absolutely fantastic. The tater tots make it a really great flavor. You get the nice flavor from your chicken pot pie, but those tater tots on top just take it to a whole nother level. So good. That pretty much does it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Hit the like button if you like what you saw. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. It lets you know when we upload a new video. We upload every Friday. Share it with all your friends and don't forget to comment down below. What did you think of this video? Or better yet, what would you like to see us make next? Oh, and don't forget, first we cook, then we eat.